when I was kind of like, growing up and learning about this kind of stuff and then thinking about it and then seeing how different scholars describe different other scholars of the past, I started to realize that there's a lot of contradictions going on. So for instance, like almost every Salafi scholar that I have ever come across had praised Ibn, for example, an-Nawawi and Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, these two individuals, right? And then when you look at their shuruhat of the hadith and stuff, they're clearly doing ta'wil of nuzul. They're clearly doing things which Ash'aris would do, like generally speaking, whether you want to classify them as Ash'aris or not, but they were doing this stuff. And for example, in the case of Ibn Qudamah, we mentioned him, he was doing things which some people would say is amounts to Tafwid. Abu Ya'la is clearly doing Tafwid. I mean, my reading of him, Sheikh Ujayri agrees. I think he was telling me himself that he's the one who told me, in fact, that he believes Abu Ya'la was doing Tafwid in his book, and so on and so forth. So you have these figures, okay, like Ibn Qudamah al-Maqdisi, you have Abu Ya'la, you have Ibn Aqil, you have Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, you have an-Nawawi doing imma Tafwid or imma ta'wil, all these kinds of things. And you don't find, there's a reluctance from the broader, al-Hadith and Hanbali collective to take them out of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. So when I realized this point, I said, okay, so what is the threshold then? How much do you need to be making errors in Aqidah, if you want to call it that from our perspective, in order for you then to be removed from Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah? So I realized that actually this is highly subjective. There is no codified there is no codified exact set of rules that say, okay, once you've crossed this threshold, you're out. Once you're not in this threshold, you're in. There are some things which you could say everyone agrees on, like Shi'ism, the Mu'tazilism, all this kind of thing. Everyone agrees. If you go into these kinds of issues here, the kalam of Allah, some masail, yeah, no doubt about it. But when it's actually applied on the mu'ayyan, when it's actually applied on the individual, you see lesser or greater degrees of concession that are given. And if you want to, so my thing is, if you want to give concession to Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, if you want to give it to an-Nawawi, if you want to give it to this person, that person, there's no problem. So then now we have to say, okay, we're concessionary. So you've got a Deobandi, Sheikh, Ma'alim, Mufti, whatever, right? Would you afford him the same ta'wil? If not, why not?